Hi there, my name is Caitlin Bandy and this is my channel BandysBooks. Today we are here to do the Why Haven't I Read These Books book tag. I recently saw a video of this book tag on Books and Cooks' YouTube and I enjoyed it. It's a short little tag. I think it's only like 6 or 7 questions and it's just fun talking about a couple of the books on your TBR that you have not read yet. I have my stack here and I'm all ready to talk about it. The original creator of this tag was named Crystal and her channel is Fiber Artsy. And it was recently remixed by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. I will link all 3 of them in the description so you can check out their videos and go leave them some nice comments. So let's go ahead and get into the book tag. The first question on this tag is a classic book that you haven't read yet. So I don't have a lot of classics. I'm not somebody that really loves classics deeply. I know that that's kind of a sinful thing to say here on Bookstagram, but it's the truth. I have read some, I do like some, but a lot of times I just find classics really dull and dry, so I'm skeptical and I'm very choosy about which ones I pick to put on my shelves. That said, I have The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I ended up picking this one up probably 6 to 8 months ago at a used bookstore. I found this very nice Barnes & Noble's Classics edition. I think it was like $2 and I was like, well, I can't pass that up. I think I was inspired to read this because Brandon over at Brandon's Bookshelf talked about this book a lot and this author a lot, and I was like, well, I respect his opinion. Let me give this a try. Maybe I'm missing something. And I can't say that I've ever read like a classic by a Russian author either, so this is all new to me. The reason that it's still on my shelf is because I don't feel super enthusiastic about classics. It's a huge book. It's like, I don't know, 750 pages long. And the print on the pages is minuscule. So this really, like if it was in normal print, probably be over 1,000 pages long. I've heard good things about this book. I'm sure that I probably will enjoy it to some degree once I get into it. It just seems like such a hefty book to jump into. So that's why I haven't read it yet. Prompt 2 is a fiction book that you haven't read yet. And I have tons of those. Honestly, like at least 50% of my shelf would fit into this category. But I picked up The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. I got this a couple months back. I believe I got this through Penguin Books. I read A History of Wild Places earlier this year, and that was my first book by Shea Earnshaw. So I decided to pick up one of their other books, and this was the one I got. It seems super interesting to me. It is a fantasy, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. It's just not for lack of want, one of those things where it's just I have more books than I could possibly read in a whole year, let alone, in a month. Next up is a nonfiction book that I haven't read yet. I also have lots of nonfiction on my shelves that I have not read yet, so had ample selections. But I went with Notes on Silencing by Lacey Crawford. This is a memoir, and it is about Lacey's experiences growing up at a St. Paul's school, which is, I believe, a Catholic school. It comes under investigation for sexual abuse by one of the priests that was working there, and it brings up a bunch of Crawford's own experiences and trauma from having been there herself. I imagine this is going to be a very upsetting, moving, inspirational sort of a book, and I definitely have it like at the top of my TBR. I just haven't got around to it yet. Next up is a genre book that you haven't read yet. I wasn't exactly sure what they meant. I didn't know if this was some like term that I'm unaware of. I just took it to mean a book from any specific genre. So I chose Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a science fiction book. I recently read Recursion by Blake Crouch, which I really, really loved. And so now I have 2 other books by him. I have Dark Matter and his newest book, Upgrade, which I got in my Book of the Month box. I'm really looking forward to this one. I only recently got it, which is probably why I haven't read it yet. But why I didn't read it before, I don't really know, because I've been seeing this everywhere for a long time. I think mostly it was just that for a while I had this misconception that I wasn't into sci-fi. I kind of imagined it as being like Star Wars or Star Trek, all of it, except I'm now finding that there's so much more to sci-fi than that. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this one, hopefully very soon. Now we're going into a book that I've owned the longest. I have a handful of books on my shelf that all came from kind of the same time period, so I just picked out one, and that was The Beekeeper of Aleppo by Christy Lefteri. This is a book I keep meaning to read. I really want to read it. It sounds very interesting. It's about family in Syria who basically keeps bees, and eventually with the war and everything, they are displaced. And I'm looking forward to reading this. I've heard really good things about it. I know it's going to be a good book. I don't know why it just keeps getting pushed back. But by the end of the year, this book will for sure be read. And Prompt 6, a series that you haven't read yet. There's so many series out there that I want to read that I haven't read yet. I decided to go with one that I own copies of the books. That is We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faisal. This is a series set in the Middle East. It is getting rave reviews by lots and lots of people all over social media. The books are gorgeous. I love the covers. I love everything about this. I cannot wait to dive into these. I just haven't had the time yet. I'm hopefully looking to read these in August, I think. The last prompt is just to tag some friends. I am never the best about tagging people, so I'm just gonna say, if you've seen this and you enjoy it and you wanna do this tag, consider yourself tagged and let me know so I can come watch and comment on your video as well. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. And comment down below what book has been sitting on your TBR the longest. I don't even want to go through my TBR and tell you because there's too many of them. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate all of my subscribers and I look forward to getting to know you more. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.